Welcome to this transformational journey, the 7-day of managing your emotions training with Mavis Ureke. For the next 7 days, you're going to be receiving 7 video series that are going to be talking about managing your emotions. And in the next 7 days, I am hoping that you'll be able to understand why emotions are important for us to manage, why we need to understand them, why we need to know them, and why we need to actually acknowledge that they exist, and why we need to leverage them to achieve the goals that we need to achieve in life. So emotions are powerful, and I'm going to start with this video series, the first of the 7 video series called The Power of Emotions. Emotions drive us on a daily basis. They influence our behavior, our actions or inactions, what we decide to do or what we don't do. And many of us have never really been educated around our emotions, so we don't actually pay attention to what we're feeling. We just end up doing or not doing certain things, and we are not even actually aware what emotions are influencing our behavior. So emotions are neurohormones. They are long-chain amino acids that are released from the brain to affect every living cell in your body. And these are, I would like to call them information or messages for you. So emotions are released for us to take cognizance of what is happening within us and around us. But for many of us, when we receive or when we feel this emotion, we quickly want to fix what is on the outside because we've never been schooled around our emotions and why we actually need to acknowledge our emotions, feel them, and work with them. So there are 4 types of energy that we rely on a daily basis. And the first of the 4 types of energy that we rely on is your emotional energy. And the second that we rely on is your physical energy. We also rely on our mental energy. And we rely on our spiritual energy. Now, here's the catch. So for many of us, we've got rituals or we've got certain things that we do to build our physical, mental, and spiritual energy. But many of us are never really aware about what we do about our emotional energy. For physical energy, many of us have got, habits, or should I call them, we've got rituals to eat 3 times a day, if not more. And during the day, you probably grab a cup of coffee or you grab a candy bar to boost your sugar level so that you boost your physical energy. And for our mental energy, many of us have spent so many years in school. We still go to school. We still read books. We go to seminars so that we boost our mental energy. And for our spiritual energy, most of us, if not, a lot of us have got a ritual to go to church on a Sunday. So why do we go to church on a Sunday? We are boosting our spiritual energy. We pray, we meditate, or you do yoga, whatever spiritual practice that you actually undertake to build your spiritual energy. But when I ask people a lot of the times to say, what do you do about your emotional energy? People normally are like, what? What are you talking about? So we think that, we can just boost our emotional energy maybe by sleeping, or it will sort itself out. Because we've never been educated, we rarely think about our emotional energy. But this is what I've discovered. The emotional energy is so powerful, it can actually incapacitate the other 3 types of energy. Think about it. When you're feeling negative, it doesn't matter how much food you ate. If you're feeling stressed, you actually feel drained physically as well. So you actually have no capacity to do the work that you want to do. And when you are feeling negative emotionally, mentally, you lose perspective. And mentally, you are actually not thinking the right things or having the ability to focus and concentrate to achieve the things that you want to achieve because of the negative emotional energy. Spiritually as well, normally when you're feeling negative, it is difficult to actually pray. It is actually a challenge. It requires a lot of self-discipline to actually pray or do meditate or any other spiritual exercise that you need to do. So emotional energy is so powerful. It can actually incapacitate the other 3 types of energy. So we need to manage our emotional energy. How do we manage our emotional energy? We need to first of all acknowledge that we're emotional human beings. We all have emotions. We feel all the time, and we need to acknowledge what emotions am I experiencing in my body. We also need to consciously make an effort to recharge our emotional batteries, but also to actually build reserves for emotional energy. How do we build reserves for emotional energy? we need to actually release the negative emotional energy that we experience. We need to actually activate achievement emotions or positive emotions so that we have, we have reserves for our emotional energy. When we boost our emotional energy, we are building our resilience. So building resilience gives you the capacity to recover from challenging experiences, to prepare for challenging experiences, but also to sustain energy to focus on your goals and all the things that you want to achieve. Let me ask you this question. What are your dominant emotions? What do you experience most of the time? And how do those dominant emotions make you feel at a physical level? Are you usually fatigued, or do you have enough energy to do what you need to get done? And what are your dominant thoughts as a result of what you are feeling most of the time? If you're feeling anxious or fearful most of the time, chances are that your thoughts are, out of alignment, or you lose perspective. You begin to think about all the things, the what if that happened. So that also further necessitates, or further allows your body to actually continue releasing the same toxic and negative emotions. And then spiritually, if you think about it, are you able to maintain your spiritual habits as a result of your dominant emotions? So emotions are powerful. We need to pay attention to them so that we can manage them. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video, where we'll talk about also how we can actually manage our emotions. Thank you for listening to this video.